Namaskar. Once again, Satyajit Roy from Mukti, one of Mukti's volunteer. Today is very special day. I got Padmanabho with us. Padmanabho is from Asha for Education, and welcome Padmanabhan.
Thank you.
We're very happy that from one of our very old and supporter partner organization Asha, from here we got you today. We are very fortunate, and we would like to talk with you on few things like how it is. Okay, just to tell, Asha for Education, around 2005 or 6 we started this partnership. It is mainly started with education project in our education area. Asha for Education supports us several education projects. So we will talk about Padmanabhan from Asha. He is a central committee member of Asha for Education. Okay, so if Padmanabhan, if I ask you like 2005-6, at that point of time, I think there was Aila was just happened, and in this that was one of the devastating cyclone in Sundarban area. So at that point of time, I remember that we started our partnership. So if you can just elaborate a little bit more, like how that partnership was started.
Yes, so maybe we can start in 2005-6 when Mukti's founder Shankar visited US, and he became an Asha volunteer, and then he started the first program, which was about book bank, which is it's giving books to the underprivileged students. And then towards slowly we started a coaching center program, because to fill the gaps of the traditional government schools. So it's not a parallel system, it was just like a supportive assistive systems.
Just to tell, earlier we used to call it as a coaching center. Now it's a different
support
thing.
School. It's now support schools, yes.
School.
And then in 2009, Cyclone Aila happened, and then there's a lot of devastation happened. So that time Asha for Education and Mukti kind of join their hands to support two things. It's a relief. First was the relief, and then the rehabilitation. And part of the rehabilitation, education rehabilitation was a big part of it. And from that, I think mostly we focused on these two main projects. One was the coaching center or the support school, and the book bank project. And Asha for Education did some one-time campaign to raise funds to support the infrastructure of some of the schools. At the same time, for a few years we also supported and collaborated for a solar lantern project. And then Sundarban got electricity slowly and gradually. So, and then we expanded from these two projects. We went into the third project, which was the MIT Mukti Institute of Technology, and which was primarily vocational training. And there we are interacting too very often, actually, because it was the first time we are getting into this. And then from the vocational training, we moved into like employment exchange, and then we slowly revisited our book bank program. And then the book bank, rather than becoming a yearly program, it became the one-time program. So if when Amphan happened, we also distributed books. Or so it's mostly like became part of educational rehabilitation or just filling the gaps. But our main association remained with this Mukti Institute of Technology and Mukti Support School. These are the two main programs we are working together.
Yeah. So to summarize, just there in our sense in the program area, if we tell like in education and the disaster recovery, in these two areas mainly the involvement is, and within that in the education area, that MSS is the one of the project main which we are supporting, and MIT which we are supporting today. And how many such MSS being supported today?
So currently we are supporting 10 more MSS in new models, and we are supporting I think another 8 to 10 MSS in the legacy model and the older model, because it was like the Asha. It was the Asha supported or Asha collaborated coaching centers that become so we are still using the infrastructures of Mukti.
Yeah, so
Rather
I'm just
than
trying to understand the scalability of that. Like, is like more than 2 to 3,000, 4,000 students were
yes, I
involved
think
in this
2,400 was the total number
total
of students part
who are
of
involved or part of this
yes, part
project
of the
and being
Asha for
supported by
Education.
Asha.
Yeah, kind of being supported by Asha for Education as of today. Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. So one another thing, when you, so this is a long journey of almost 15 years or more than 15 years. So what do you find in Mukti? Like, if we ask you that 3 points of about Mukti, like why Asha found Mukti to be a partner? So what is those 3 things? Like, it might be more or less, but I'm just asking three for the
Yes.
sake of time.
So one thing was that we always felt even I mean I know Mukti since 2009 was the collaborative attitude, right? So that Mukti always like especially means my main contact was Shankar. Now I interact with more people in Mukti. The good thing is that always we are part of the planning, right? So it never felt like somebody has already framed a proposal and looking for a funder.
It's
So
a more of a co-planning.
yeah,
of
it's
this.
a co-planning, kind of also co-execution in a way, because we always ask for the feedbacks, and then accordingly it was
The
every
complete
year.
transparency of
Yes,
that
the transparency
project.
of the system.
Yeah.
Second, what we liked is the sustainable models. Like, so there is no kind of the goal is not to make a parallel system just because somebody wants to do something. It's always the first point that Mukti thinks that what is the need and how they can fulfill the gap, right? And so that's why working close to with the schools and also the support school model where the school infrastructure is being used, this is something I really find special. And third is I would say we got a lot of first hand experience and insights from Mukti whenever these cyclones happen, and especially for cyclone Amphan, where Mukti becomes like our eyes, right? And that helped quite a bit for our other partners, because at Asha for Education we have more than 30 partners in West Bengal itself.
Yeah.
And then when Mukti kind of gave us all this like feedbacks and all this information, all this reporting in the first day, hourly basis.
On the ground reporting, because Mukti is by the people, like people itself is that part of the Mukti.
And also we felt that during disasters, because Mukti has been working with these cyclones and other natural disasters for many years now, more than a decade. So the experience and the helped a lot Mukti to kind of getting a center whenever, even if the mobile towers were not working, still there is a work going on, whereas our other partners were very I would say they couldn't give us the information in time, because they were really,
because they need to go up from outside to that ground zero,
or even they were in the ground zero, but they didn't have the technology or the system
to be connecting the people.
The people. So in that case, even for Cyclone Amphan, Mukti's reports helped us to raise funds not only for Mukti but also for our other partners, and that that was a big thing we got.
On time updates are coming from the real people, the real beneficiaries.
That helped us a lot. And for disaster relief situations, the first 3-4 days are the important days when you can get some donations and support from, because after that everybody forgets. So
and also the first 3 points is very critical, those 3 days, because by the time it always takes time to reach to that, get the fund, but being an inside, we were able to start working for that, and that's the most critical part of it, critical time, I would say. Thanks Padaravan. So the next question will be, of course we are working so long, we talked about that, but what do you think that Mukti can still improve in terms of the partnership, in terms of the general beneficiary, whatever you think, where we can improve?
So personally, I'm really happy. In last 2-3 years I have seen only growth factor in Mukti. So one concern I always have is when an organization keeps on growing, how do they sustain the growth, or also need to say how the leadership, new leaders are developed, new how it is delegated, and how when like in a growth path of a non-profit, it's also becomes, sometimes it becomes a model of only growth and non-sustainable, right? So that's something I think it's in the, it should be always in the mind. And then also second thing I would like to know how Mukti wants to share the knowledge with others, other NGOs, because as you know in West Bengal there are so many NGOs in grassroots, and many tiny NGOs are there that are kind of not growing anywhere, right? Sometimes. So how not only the Asha partners, but how all the NGOs working in Sundarban can benefit from Mukti, and how means also Mukti can grow into areas where maybe they are not able to reach because of their limited capacity. So this is something I will be in my wish list just to see in coming years.
Yeah, so that so much of vast knowledge we have and first-hand experience we have, how we can percolate that within the other organization. You'll be glad to know that at least nowadays, I think from last 2-3 years, a little bit more, there are small organizations are also working with us. We have around 40 such organizations during Amphan. We have worked on that, worked with them. We have helped with our expertise and our experience to that. But of course, we need to formalize that more. We have to go into the more detail of it. Thanks, Padmanabhan, for that suggestion. Of course, we will work on that. And the next question will be to you that, okay, what next? What is the future of this partnership you are seeing it?
So for me, the future of partnership will be more Asha volunteers visit Mukti, more Asha volunteers gets engaged with Mukti, and also
the direct engagement of
that, and somehow I would say that for me the next phase will be how we can use Mukti as a knowledge base for our other partners. As I mentioned, this is also I would like to see that where Mukti cannot reach and the other organizations are already there, but they should not reinvent the wheel. They should not always look for their own solution, because Mukti also has a lot of thinkers, and many of the organizations we work with, they have a lot of grassroots workers, but they are so entangled in their daily, I would say daily work, and they are
solving their daily problems.
Yeah, their daily problems. They are kind of forget to think about what after 5 years. And there I see Mukti as a trainer, as a knowledge base, as a collaborator, a capacity builder, and that's what will be, I think, will be very beneficial. Like the way, let's say in the beginning of Mukti, Asha for Education kind of helped like a knowledge base for Mukti. Similarly, Mukti becomes a knowledge. It's like paying it forward, we call it. So that's what will be something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I think for that reason only, I think this channel which we have now created, talking with people, we're trying to come up with these our ideas and spreading that within the people. So it's a kind of a knowledge base which is being prepared here. So we would like people to more watch this and understand this and be part of it. Send us the comments so that we can also answer them if anything. So you can also tell within your organization this type of videos which we are creating with you. Okay, once again thank you very much, and from bottom of our hearts we really thank you for being here and spending time with us. Once again we will meet again. We will come up with some other more discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the discussion. Take care.
Thank you all. Keep watching this. We'll come back with some other more interesting videos and knowledgeable video once again, and thank you for being with us. Thank you.